Hey guys, so today we have a few stories to get through, so we're just gonna get straight into that because yes. Okay, Instagram, Twitter, follow me on there. It's a fun time. Also, subscribe because we are literally 1k away from 500k, and that 500k we're making a second channel, yes. And yeah, that's basically the intro for today. This is a story from a while back, but I remember I mentioned in one of my mini tea stories that Shane Dawson tweeted out where he basically said, this is why I don't post videos as often as, you know, people want me to. And it was a comment under one of his videos saying, guys, I really like Shane, but you are just enabling him to gain weight. And he was like, it doesn't feel great to upload a video and feel like absolute garbage. And I completely understand that. You know, sometimes you get like a weird comment where someone's like, oh, why does your hair look like that? Why does your eyebrow look like that? And it's like, just listen to what I'm saying and leave. How I look does not really matter to the general concept of the video. Many people do the videos I do with just a voiceover, so clearly the look isn't that important. So yeah, I can kind of understand where he's coming from. But he did put that person on blast with the full name, so it was very easy to find them. But then again, people's YouTube accounts usually don't have much personal info on there, so you can't find their like Instagram or Twitter through their YouTube name. I think it's better if you just ignore it. The amount of times I want to like reply to someone's comment or put someone on blast, and then you think it's giving them the attention that they want, and it also just shows them that they hit like a point and that it actually hurt you. Whereas if you just ignore it, it's a lot easier to just kind of not take that in as much, not take the info in and feel some kind of way about it. So recently Shane Dawson posted a video on his Shane Dawson channel about his weight loss journey where he has a personal trainer and all that good stuff, and he basically showed his training process, which I don't actually think he needed to do. It's none of anyone's business what he looks like, and that's where I want to end this one, because it's none of anyone's business. That's why it irritates me when people talk about Jaclyn Hill's looks, and when I used to speak about Dani Con, people used to call her fat. She's a child. Shane Dawson, people want to talk about his looks, and it's just a whole array of things that shouldn't be any of your business. Anastasia Beverly Hills recently has been under a lot of scrutiny, which is weird because if you asked me like a year ago what is the most beloved company, I would say Anastasia Beverly Hills. They haven't, at no point did they do something wrong. Like for the longest time they were invincible. There is nothing that they could have done that people would be like, no. And then it started going downhill from there. So what happened was they released a lot of products, and then they released the Carly Bible palette and the Jackie Aina palette pretty much back to back, which means neither of them really got the like spotlight that they deserved, because usually with Anastasia Beverly Hills they will release a new palette and give it like few months for people to buy it, use it, love it, post about it, really get the use out of it before they get another one. With this, it was pretty much just back to back. Here's a palette, and then after that they started releasing those Norvina huge palettes, and those were like, there were 3 of them, and then I think there were 2 little ones, and I think there was another little one. So yeah, there was just no space to breathe. And the thing is, I understand why Norvina made that decision, because there is this push to constantly release stuff, because it almost seems like people get bored quicker now of the products that they buy. So I think Norvina was scared they were going to fall off the radar, and they were doing like the ColourPop thing where like every week there's a new release so that people never get bored, and so that if one release doesn't stick, another one will. However, if you look at the price differences between ColourPop and Anastasia Beverly Hills, a palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills will run anywhere between, and I'm talking about like full size ones, not the tiny ones. So these ones are about like 43 to 46 pounds, which is probably the same in dollars, because usually there's no conversion rate stuff. It's just a 1-to-1 with brands, which is unfair. And then the big ones I think were about 60 pounds, so they were about $60, whereas ColourPop will run you between like $10 to $20 max. So you can kind of see the difference. For every like one Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, you will get about like 3 on average ColourPop palettes. However, yeah, the Anastasia Beverly Hills quality is better, so you can kind of buy one and be satisfied with it. But yeah, with all the releases, people were kind of upset, understandably. And then Anastasia Beverly Hills decided to work with an MLM. No. No, don't do that. And they quickly backtracked, and then they were accused of copying Fenty's mascara, which I did go over. They didn't copy Fenty's mascara, but you know, that was a critique that they received. And then recently a girl tweeted out saying, your fave emailed me with a partnership offer where I create content in exchange for a chance to be featured to their audience of over 20 million followers. I've been doing this influencer thing for far too long to be working with multi-million-dollar brands for exposure. Then she follows that up with a tweet saying, I mean, whether you've been an influencer for a while or just starting up, you shouldn't work for free. But I can understand someone just coming up in the community jumping on an opportunity like this, but still they have more than enough money to pay creators. And then someone in the comments, well, in the replies to that tweet, said, does their name rhyme with Malaysia Cleverly Bills? And then they said yes. So it's clearly Anastasia Beverly Hills. The concept is Anastasia Beverly Hills reached out to this influencer here, and they offered her an opportunity, if you want to call it that, to create content for a chance to get exposure. It wasn't a direct, you create this content and we will give you exposure. It was, you post this content and you have a chance, if we pick you, to get exposure. Which, first of all, exposure doesn't pay the bills. Free products don't pay the bills. You cannot go to your landlord and offer him an Anastasia Beverly Hills palette in exchange for rent. Exposure in itself, bad. But the fact that this wasn't even a guaranteed exposure, it was a chance to be featured on the Instagram page, trash. And then Norvina actually replied on her Twitter and said, "Good morning, everyone. I haven't been on Twitter for a few weeks now due to personal things and focusing on campaigns, so I'm a little bit out of the loop. This morning, my friend texted me a tweet that was posted by an artist that I respect, and I wanted to log on to address both her and our community as a whole. At Oles, I know you posted a tweet about Anastasia Beverly Hills reaching out to you and requesting content for the chance of a feature, and I want to personally apologize to you first and foremost. It's extremely disrespectful, and I 100% understand why you are upset. I'd be 2. We recently grew our social team to keep the brand moving forward while I've been focusing more on creative, and this email was sent by a new hire. I was not aware that these proposals were being sent, and I'm very frustrated that they were because this does not align with our brand values. I promise that this has been addressed internally with the entire team. I fully understand that this does not erase what happened and the damage has been done, and I'm sorry on behalf of our entire brand. You don't owe us your acceptance, but I truly hope that in the future we can discuss, and we'd be more than excited to work together on a proper paid collaboration. In regards to the rest of the community, we hear you loud and clear about these issues and are super disappointed that we've hurt or disrespected anyone. Everyone deserves to be paid when they do work. And although this has always been a core value of mine personally, our brand slipped and I know it's on me to handle. I can sit here and write that we will do better all day long, but actions speak louder than words, and I hope to show you all how much we love and care and respect the makeup community. Norvina." Do I think this is a really good response? Absolutely. It does the whole stereotypical blame the intern, blame the new hire. It's a new person. I'm sorry. I'll address this though. But I think in general, this is a good response. It apologizes. Clearly the words were said, "I am sorry," to the person affected and to the community. So it apologized. Norvina apologized to the person, Lorelis, and the community. They also said that actions speak louder than words, and that they would be willing to do a paid collaboration with Lorelis. And then they just in general said that they will now work internally and externally on this whole thing. I think great response. Sure. I mean, I can't fault it. However, there are a lot of things happening with Anastasia Beverly Hills right now that are leaving a bad taste in people's mouths. I still really like Anastasia Beverly Hills. I think they create amazing eyeshadows. I haven't tried the big pro palettes, but apparently there's a different formula than those ones, and I like those ones, so I'm gonna stick with those ones. I like the foundation, I like the brow products. In my eyes, they can't do wrong. Unless they are in any way problematic, then they will do wrong, but I can't fault them for just trying to keep up with the rest of the makeup community. Do I have a slight sweet spot in my heart for Anastasia Beverly Hills? Yes. But that will not stop me from calling out problematic behavior, like partnering with an MLM. No. Meghan Rienks is a YouTuber who did like lifestyle type videos, and then she had a second channel for her vlogs where she was most known for her nose job journey. And then she stopped uploading on both of those channels, but instead she started a podcast called Don't Blame Me, which I've been listening to pretty much from the start, and I love it. I love hearing other people's drama and issues and problems and how they can be resolved. I think it's such a good concept. It's so easy, so simple, but so good. Anyway, so her main channel was hacked, where if you weren't subscribed and you didn't get a direct link to a video that she uploaded, you couldn't search her up, because if you did, it would say that this channel doesn't exist. So she resolved that, and then her second channel was hacked, where it was taken over by someone else and it was renamed into Beauty Dior. They privated all of her vlogs and then they deleted them, and they were uploading copyrighted content of that, like of those like weird Instagram type unhelpful makeup tips, and she's been battling to get her channel back and her videos back for months now. And she uploaded her first part where she went over, you know, the initial emails to YouTube, and then she uploaded her second part, which I recently spoke about, where she went over how they're still not willing to give her videos back. And now she didn't upload a video, but she did post almost a part 3 on Twitter, which is just like a statement that she made, which is, "Today I was able to get on a video call with someone high up at YouTube and finally got answers to most of my questions. Though we still don't know who Alex is." If you don't know, in some of the emails they refer to her as Alex, even though neither her nor her lawyers nor her agents nor her managers were called Alex. So they just called her Alex for no reason. So now she's Alex. But I kind of like that mystery being left unsolved. Before getting on this call, I agreed that everything would be confidential, and unlike the first call, I understand why. The information I was told was what went wrong with my case, systems that are currently being changed because of what happened to me. The series of unfortunate events that led to this whole ordeal will soon be obsolete. Do I wish it could have been done without me? Of course, but truthfully, this is how holes are spotted and how they're fixed. I'm glad that I could be the catalyst for change for other creators, both big and small. But really the most important part was that they acknowledged that what happened to me wasn't my fault, and that they were sorry that their system failed me. And though uncomfortable for for their internal team to watch, my videos showed them that their current protocol of helping creators with hacking wasn't working. And while it sucks that my vlogs were lost in the process, I'm working on downloading them from web archives. I was offered an in-person meeting where I can talk to the team who was on my case and give them suggestions on how to fix this system for other creators. After spending almost 5 months dealing with my channels being hacked and going through all the emotions, feeling crazy, ignored, helpless, and frustrated, I want to work with YouTube to make my experience the last one of its kind, and they're on board. Am I sad I lost my vlogs? Yes, they were years of memories, a cinematic scrapbook, a living diary where I got to watch myself grow up. But thanks to an amazing follower, Krista, and her whole slew of Twitter do-gooders, I have playable links on web archives of a huge chunk of those videos. It's not the ideal outcome, but truthfully, now those videos mean more to me because so many of you helped me get them back. I learned a lot from this experience. First of all, Twitter warriors are fierce, hilarious, and should be hired by the Pentagon. Also, some of you go a little too hard. Please don't harass and threaten employees. That has never been my goal, and that doesn't help anyone. I learned that sometimes you have to rock the boat to get the help you need, and weirdly enough, this whole debacle reignited my passion for YouTube. As awful as this experience was, I had fun making those videos. In a weird way, it opened up a new style of content I never would have stumbled upon before. So will I get what I wanted? My videos back? No. My channel back? Yes. Answers to my question? Yes. A new system to help creators who've been hacked? Yes. An apology? Yes. A conversation with Chad? Yes. A meeting at YouTube? Yes. Also world peace? Absolutely not. So that's where we're at. Sad about the vlogs, relieved that I'm not crazy, and validated with an apology. In the big picture, this had to happen to someone, and it was happening to small creators. It just so happened that I was the biggest one it happened to, and it took that to garner the right attention, spot the issues, and make the change. So I'm happy that I can find some meaning in this situation. It was bringing a much needed overhaul, and I'm looking forward to being a part of that conversation. I hate reading out loud. It makes me feel like I can't speak. I'm glad there is an end to this situation. However, if we're going to go over a few simple things with this, what's it called? A statement. With this statement is that YouTube clearly is lacking in certain areas. The fact that you can't figure out how to stop people from being hacked and how to resolve a hacking. We do make a living from this, so it'd be nice if our jobs were somewhat secure. That would be lovely, because now I'm terrified. Two, the fact that she can't get her videos back just goes to show, if any YouTubers are watching this for some odd reason, please buy yourself a cheap-ish big hard drive, download all the videos that you have on your YouTube channel and put them on that hard drive and put it into a nice cupboard and keep it there, because just in case things go wrong, you want to have those videos. Trust me. Like, even if it's not vlogs or anything, just to see your progression on YouTube would be lovely to have. And if those videos go missing and you can't get them back, it'd be nice to just have them on a hard drive as a memory thing. You can get hard drives for like 40-50 quid, and they're like 2 terabytes big, so you can just start uploading your videos onto there, so that even if your laptop breaks or whatever happens, you can have them somewhere separately, and if YouTube up and your channel gets hacked, you can have your videos. I hope this doesn't happen to anyone else. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. It doesn't matter if you like me or not, you made videos on me or you didn't, or whatever it is, you left me a hate comment. I don't want anyone's channel to get deleted, and that is obviously obvious. And I'm glad that they're working on a new hacking system. I wonder when that will come into play. I hope soon. Let's work on this ASAP, and then afterwards work on monetization for people, because that is also still a problem, and copyright strikes if I'm gonna add anything on there. Thanks YouTube, that's great. Glad we could have this conversation. Next, Keemstar is being sued for $3.5 million by Romeo Lacoste. I'm not gonna get into what Romeo Lacoste did because it's disgusting, but he has been in contact with people that he shouldn't be in contact with, that are way too young for him to be in contact with, and that shouldn't have been happening. And now, because of Keemstar talking about him, he's being sued for $3.5 million. So he's selling t-shirts, I guess, to cover like the costs, and he's gonna use AdSense, I'm assuming, to cover the cost of the lawsuit, and I'm hoping that he wins, because if he doesn't, that really means that, you know, you can't talk about things, which is why I say allegedly all the damn time, because unless something is like 100% done and over with, you can't say that it actually happened, and we all learn that from mistakes. So yeah, if Keemstar in some way insinuated that this information is 100% sure, then yeah, he's gonna get sued, but if he made it clear that this is just allegations that have come out, then there's no reason for him to not win that lawsuit. Next, Trisha Paytas recently posted a video that all of you guys have been DMing me about, and trust me, I'm on it. I just needed to gather my intel, because there is a lot happening. So she posted a video called Meet My Alters, and she's claiming that she has dissociative identity disorder, which was previously known as multiple personality disorder, and is a mental disorder characterized by the maintenance of at least 2 distinct and relatively enduring personality states. This is accompanied by memory gaps beyond what would be explained by ordinary forgetfulness. That is the definition on Wikipedia. Also, donate to Wikipedia, they're struggling, and if you can donate even £1 or $1 or $5, you can help them out, and they've been helping everyone out ever since I entered the educational system. So she claims that she has that disorder. If this was anyone else, I would 100% believe it, feel bad, feel all the things that a normal human being would feel when you hear that from someone. But when it's Trisha Paytas, who has identified as a chicken nugget, pretended to be a Trump supporter, pretended that she was trans, and then made money from that video and claimed she didn't make money from that video, because remember when she went on the H3 podcast and she said that she turned ads off that video, and then they went on that video and found out that she made 8 grand from pretending to be trans, and then now she has dissociative identity disorder. I don't buy it. I don't buy it, because whenever her views are low, she does this. So why do I think she did this? Because Anthony Padilla made a video recently. So he has a series called Spending a Day with blank, and he recently spent a day with people with dissociative identity disorder. I'll call it DID from now on, because that is a mouthful. So he spent a day with people with DID. It was a very emotional video in a way, because it showed how difficult life is with it, but then they did show the positive aspects of it and how they're dealing with it and how they're coping with it and how they got over the initial, like, I guess, fear of it, and how people still have a stigma related to it because they think people are insane or crazy when they have it. And that they also referenced a few movies like Split that showed just the like psycho aspect of it, when most people that have it are not dangerous or insane or crazy, neither of those things. And yeah, so that's the backstory. And that video, I believe, ended up on trending with about 2.5 million views. So what did Trisha think? Let me have DID now. I don't believe she has it. She contradicts herself a lot with her videos. Sometimes she'll say, oh, I don't have this mental disorder. And then 2 months later, she'll be like, oh, I have this mental disorder now. So back in the day, I remember people asked her if she has a personality disorder and she said no. And now, all of a sudden, she has a personality disorder. I don't believe it. I think she's a troll. And I've said this before. And she does this for attention, and we give it to her every single time. And there is a balance between trying to not give someone attention, but also bringing awareness to why this is wrong. It's trying to strike that balance that is very difficult. So then Anthony Padilla actually filmed an Instagram story where he was like jaw open, jaw dropped, upset, reacting real time to her video. And then she went on a Twitter rant, as she does. So let's start. So the initial tweet was her obviously tweeting out about the video. And then someone replied saying, at Trisha Paytas, I mean this honestly, get a therapist that can diagnose you for these illnesses you claim to have, so at least you have some proof. We know you have the money. That's another thing. She said that this is self-diagnosed, which just because something is self-diagnosed doesn't mean it's false. A lot of people self-diagnose with anxiety or depression or anything else because you know what you feel best. Don't let someone, tell you otherwise. But in this case, I would like a therapist to diagnose this, because she is known on YouTube for pretending to have things and be things that she is not or does not have. I'm sick and tired of it, honestly. And she goes, don't have to prove anything to anyone. Watch my channel or don't watch it. I don't care, but apparently you care a lot. So there is a channel of the girl that was on his channel for DID. She has her own channel where she educates people on DID. That was the most confusing sentence I've ever said. Anyway, so she has a channel and she reacted real time to Trisha Paytas calling her crazy for having DID while also trying to claim that she has DID. Am I making this clear? So Trisha Paytas called the girl in Anthony Padilla's video crazy for having DID while also trying to join the community of people with DID. It's like when she tried to join the LGBT community while also mocking what they are and spreading misinformation about being trans. You can't have it both ways. You can't mock them and join them at the same time. So yeah, Anthony Padilla then quote retweeted that video by the girl and said, this is important. I'll put the link to Anthony Padilla's video and then the girl's video replying to Trisha Paytas calling her crazy. So those would be the 2 links. I'm not putting a link to Trisha Paytas' video because that is not what I want you guys to be watching. And she quote retweeted Anthony Padilla's quote retweet. This is getting much, saying, keep exploiting people. You may be the most disgusting person I've ever met. Don't say you're an advocate for mental health when you refer to a mentally ill person as trash. Because he referred to Trisha Paytas as trash. I would have to agree. Sorry. Basically, I don't think he exploits people in any way. If you've ever watched his series of Spending a Day with blank, you would know that it is the most informational, personal content I've ever seen regarding these issues. And it's not always people with mental health issues. It's sometimes just more average things like spending a day with gamers or viral TikTok stars or e-boys. Or I remember he did a video with people that are he did a video with people that have DID. There's just lots of things that he did. I can't think of off the top of my head, but he does a lot of very important informational videos that I think are very important, because instead of him trying to learn about these disorders, he brings in people that actually have and live with these disorders to tell their story. And I think it's incredible. So this is not exploitative in any way, shape or form. It informs people, unlike Trisha Paytas' content, which isn't informative in any way, shape or form, because she literally sits there and calls someone with DID crazy. Are you fucking kidding me? Then she goes and tweets, Anthony Padilla claims he has and had depression, anxiety, but mocks a manic depressive suicidal human. You can move me to trash Anthony Padilla. Just make sure you and your girlfriend IRL my death and post it to your IG story because it's probably just for attention, right? Hear me out. If Trisha Paytas is actually suicidal, I am beyond sorry for her. I think you can't, be a good human being and not pity someone like that. However, using suicidal thoughts as a way to silence someone for expressing their opinions is the most disgusting thing you can do as a human being. Someone expressing an opinion about your videos doesn't mean that they are responsible somehow for your suicide or for your mental health. So her saying all of this is an easy way to now make Anthony Padilla look like the bad guy, because if he continues to express an opinion about you, he is now making you and he'll be responsible for anything bad that happens, and he is not in any way responsible for anything bad that happens. No one is. So this is the most disgusting tweet of them all, in my opinion, because this is basically what abusive relationships look like as well. Have you ever heard of a situation where there's a couple and one of them says to the other, if you leave me, I'll kill myself? Disgusting behavior. And this is just that. It's toxic. It is, just disgusting. Don't ever do this. This is gross. He's allowed to express an opinion about you without feeling almost like scared that you're going to do something and it's going to make him look like the bad guy. And then she goes, since Anthony Padilla knows my mind so well, please tell me how this ends. People can only be pushed so far, and I did nothing but share my truth, and now I'm being mocked because I'm known as the crazy, mentally unstable troll of YouTube. Logic is to mock a mentally unstable person. Do I think she's mentally unstable? In some way, because you can't be mentally stable and do all of this. But then it also gives people with mental disorders a really bad reputation when they're being compared to Trisha Paytas, because no one else does this. No one with depression or anxiety or even any personality disorders does this for attention. She has such a bad rep that at this point, even if she did actually have a mental disorder, no one would believe her. But that is a bed that she made for herself, and she's gonna have to sleep in it, sadly. She also then filmed a video about Anthony Padilla. Just not gonna get into it. I think this is a disgusting situation. If you look at her whole history on YouTube, she's made a lot of claims that were very false, and she said a lot of very hurtful things. So it's very difficult for different communities to accept her when she mocks them and calls them crazy and spreads misinformation about them. So I'm gonna end on that one. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below anything, comment down below, and subscribe because I post videos every other day, but mainly Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. So hit that bell and you'll be notified when that's happening. Social media links and any other links in description, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.